to have this opportunity to talk to Paul and to put our opinions and our views and our science to him. In the last 30 years, particularly, the gross mismanagement from all the government departments, all the ones that have the names like EPA, Environmental Protection Authority, or Conservation and Land Management, or Department of Water, Department of Conservation and Environment, Planning Department. It all sounds really good, doesn't it? And we go and we vote and we do our democratic thing, and we imagine that these government institutions are going to actually protect this environment and where we live, where we've bought our houses or where we rent, and going to protect us and our health. That's another one, the health department. Well, I'm sorry, but what's been happening is that the groundwater has been dropping and dropping, and all these departments, including the Department of Water and the Department of Conservation Environment and CALM and everyone else, have been just monitoring for 30 years as it's been going down. And they like to tell you that it's just climate change now. Suddenly everyone believes in it, and that it's this, that and the other. They want to blame the horticulturists, the market gardeners, and even you guys with your bores in your backyard that you got your rebate for. They want to blame everyone except Watercorp, who had 46 wellheads to the east of the lakes, pulling out the water before it came to the lakes, and therefore lowering the groundwater. And it's not all different systems that are all separate. From the superficial, the top layer water, to the bottom layer, they are permeable layers, and sometimes there's no layer at all, like at Lake Marigina. And all over it is the remnants of the wetlands, the acid sulfate soils, which if you dig them up and expose them to air, like you want to do with industrial development or an urban development, you will actually then poison the water around them, which has already started to happen in places, and you've seen it, where in Stirling, in Gwelup, the residents are no longer able to use their bores because of that urban development that they were warned against in their own guidelines here. Acid sulfate soils planning guidelines. They say, whatever you do, don't dig it up. And you certainly shouldn't zone to dig it up. And if by chance it's already been zoned, it says, then, oh my God, you're in for trouble. It's going to cost you a fortune. So why on earth would we rezone areas that are full of wetlands, acid sulfate soil, or put a big industrial site on top of our Nangara water mount? Can anyone tell me? This is the document that we found out by chance. We were not notified as residents or the Perth City people as a whole that this document came out. And of course they do their little tiny piece in the paper somewhere that no one saw. But there was no letter. There's no letter out to the residents like there is when there's an election coming up or something else where they want us to do something. It's when they don't want us to do anything. A document like this will come out. They'll say we want public comment, but we don't even know about it. And we found out by chance. It was only because my husband was on the internet that he actually, looking up something about industry, that he actually found out about it. And there are other things that have happened. These two documents here, one on a wetlands assessment and the other one Aboriginal site assessment, that were paid for by the Department of Planning, then called the Department of Planning and Infrastructure. They said they've never seen, and they paid for them. So how much trust can we have? This is what we're asking you today, Paul. How much trust can we have in a system to protect us and our water?
Not good enough.
When this is what's happening now before it's even been rezoned. And that's what we've come here to ask you today, Paul. And we thank you for being here to answer this question.